Hey everybody, Matt Ruck here with another episode of Pixelmon in Minecraft. Now today we've got a great surprise. The devs of Pixelmon Reforged released a sneaky update, update 8.1.0, and what this update included was just a ton of content that will be released into the Pixelmon Reforged mod for Minecraft. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling down through this changelog, you can see the list just keeps going on and on and on. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of go through everything, or at least a bunch of the stuff that's in this changelog in Minecraft, so you can kind of see the new Pokemon, new updates, new forms, stuff like that. But with it being so long, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so now, guys, I gotta say, I laid out a bunch of the new stuff into a creative world in Minecraft, and I gotta say, there was even more stuff than I realized when I was setting this up. Like, it goes, I'm gonna look to the right here, you can see that it's just a long line of Pokemon. I've got this rendered out pretty far, and it like loops around in the backside. It like loops around towards this way too. This is ridiculous how much content they've added. So let's just go through this quick. These are some of the new Pokemon they've added. Starting with Clobopus and Graplocked. And I apologize ahead of time. I'm not very familiar with Gen 8, especially Pokemon, so if I butcher the names, I apologize. Please leave, a comment below letting me know how to properly say them. But it looks like kind of like an octopus type thing. Next one we have Cramorant, which looks to be like a bird. Kind of like a neat looking bird, honestly, like a dodo bird almost. Next up we have the Arrokuda and then Barraskewda. Pretty neat little like fish Pokemon. I think once again I gotta give credit to the devs because they did a phenomenal job on modeling these Pokemon. Next up we have the Galarian form of Corsola, which is a white ghostly form, and then we have Cursula, which is, I'm guessing, like a ghost type Pokemon. This one looks like he's either sick or he's been hanging out with the Galarian Wheezing, which you will see in just a moment. Next up we have the Galarian forms of Zigzagoon and Lanoon. On top of that you have Obstagoon over here, which, I mean, he looks phenomenal. So like, I did make a video about these two guys and their hidden ability. Excuse me. Or not even their hidden ability, their alternate ability pickup, because it's a great way to make money in the server and get items. But now this guy, I mean, he just looks phenomenal. And plus, they'll make it a little bit stronger so they're easier to battle with. So moving on to the Galarian Wheezing. Excuse me. So as I mentioned, the Galarian Corsola kind of looked like he was hanging out with this guy. I know there were memes about this looking like a bong for all of you California and Denver and Washington folks. But he could just be a very, Wheezing that's very classy and has a very tall top hat. Next up we have the Galarian Darumaka and Darmanitan. And now these are both Darmanitans, but if you look, this is the Zen mode Galarian form of Darmanitan. So bunch of different forms for those. Probably the two new, I wouldn't even say creepy because they're so flat they're kind of funny, but Sizzlipede and Centiskorch. So it looks like these are probably like bug fire types. Obviously centipedes are pretty type Pokemon in real, or creatures in real life, but these look pretty funny. They look great. I gotta give once again credit to the modeling team for working on these. Next up we have Phalanx. So Phalanx is, again, I don't know if this is supposed to be a bug or just like an armor, like I don't know what this is. I have no idea. Next up is Toxel and Toxtricity. So we have the amped version is this yellow one, and then the low key version is this blue one. They both look like they've been they're like sleep deprived to me, with the bags underneath their eyes, but both look incredible. Next up is Indeedee, the male and female versions. I'm gonna show the little crosshairs just so you can see the male and female. This is the female, male, Moving on, we have Hatina, Hatrim, and Hatterene. This reminds me of the Gardevoir evolution lineup. It just looks like another very like feminine third tier evolution, but I have no idea like what these types of Pokemon or like what their types are or anything like that. Next up we have Milcery, Alcremie, and I put many flavors because this one, it's got I want to say like 50 different skins for this Pokemon. So if you right click it, you can see the form. It's the strawberry vanilla cream. They've got like 10 strawberries, 10 berries. Like I'll scroll through this. There's, I mean, at least 50. There's probably like 60 or even more than that for these different skins. Next up, they're doing our the classic Ponyta and Rapidash really dirty with their Galarian forms. So if the rainbow forms of Ponyta and Rapidash weren't silly enough in their rainbow skins, now they've turned them into unicorns. Definitely looks like a My Little Pony type skin. I gotta say, like, they look great, even though they look like My Little Pony. I mean, the modeling is obviously done very, very well. Next up, we have the Impidimp evolution lineup. So we have Impidimp, Morgrem, and Grimmsnarl. I mean, Impidimp is just a funny name, and I think this guy looks pretty intense. So great job on this. Farfetch'd, oh my gosh, I'm so happy Farfetch'd has finally got some like new forms, because he looks awesome, and I know he's been always like a letdown for me growing up from Gen 1. So you have the Galarian form Farfetch'd, which looks similar to the first, like the original, except he's gotten bigger, looks a little bit more intense, and his leak is massive. Like, he could really mollywop somebody with that leak. But next up is Surfetch'd, which is like a knight form. It's like Farfetch'd evolved into a knight. So you have his leak into a sword, and I think this is also supposed to be a leak as a shield, and just looks really, really nice. Definitely going to be a Pokemon that a lot of people are going for. Next up is the Galarian form of Slowpoke and Slowbro. The biggest change, obviously they've got different colors on their heads, but the biggest change is Slowbro has his, rather than the shell on his tail, it's on his arm, so he can like club people with it, I guess. So next up is Morpeko. It almost looks like it's a mix between like Teddy Ursa and Pikachu to me. Don't know much about that one. Pincurchin. It's like you know, bottom dweller pincushion type sea urchin type Pokemon. Snob, don't know what that is. Oh, sun's going down. Let me reset that. I mean, it's very small. Let's see if I can. Yeah, even squatting down it like doesn't change much. But next up is Frostmoth, which is kind of like a Venomoth type Pokemon, and then Galarian Mr. Mime. Looks amazing. Just a very funny, like, it looks like he's got sideburns on him. And Meowth once again gets a new form in the Galar region. Just like Alola, he's got the Galarian Meowth form. Oops, keep running around. I think he looks kind of cute. Looks kind of like a teddy bear. And then we have Berserker. I'm guessing this is like an evolved form of Meowth, kind of like Persian was. Next up is this trio, which I think this is probably my favorite trio of the new ones added. So it's Dreepy, Dracloak, and Dragapult. And now this one just kind of reminds me, it looks like a dragon, obviously, but it looks kind of like it has missile launchers that shoot out little mini dragons, or mini Dreepies, if you will. So pretty neat evolution line here. So those are all the new Pokemon that have been added, but this is not the end. There's lots of new forms that we're going to jump into next. So next up we have some new strike forms for about, I think it's like 8 or 9 different Pokemon from the series, and these are probably what I would consider the #1 go-to Pokemon. Like, these are the ones that people are going to be looking for. So let me turn this to nighttime, and you'll kind of see why I think they're going to be so, like, desired. Okay, I mean, look at that. It looks like they just got electricity, like, coursing across their skin. So hopefully you guys can see this all right. Let me, yeah, no, this is fine. So the first one we have is Boltund and Electivire. These are the strike forms once again. And, I mean, Boltund looks amazing. Electivire looks incredible. These are definitely Pokemon that everybody's going to be wanting because they just look so incredible. Next up is Gallade, Jolteon, and Ninetales. Gallade, once again, amazing. Jolteon is probably my favorite. I mean, just being, I really do wish they would have put more like electricity across his like forehead and like along his ears, because the body looks really, really good. I just feel like this looks a little too plain on his head. Like they needed to add a little bit more electricity. And the same with Ninetales. Like a little bit down Ninetales' back would have looked really, really good, I think. Next up we have Vivillon, Poliwrath, Weavile, and Crobat. So Vivillon, great look on the wings. Poliwrath, I mean, it looks neat, but it's just on his belly, so I'm like, I don't know. Not my favorite of these 9 or 10 of them. Weavile looks alright. He's got that anime run, and then Crobat looks pretty sick as well. Just anything that's got it on its wings looks just amazing. So moving on to the Alter forms that have been added. We got a few Alter forms, but these are also going to be like highly sought after. So starting with Volcarona Alter form, he's got like a little cape on along with pink wings. Mewtwo. So I don't even know if we can actually get these in the game. I know they're called like creator, like giveaway type forms. So you might not even be able to get this form of Mewtwo like naturally. It might have to be given to you like from participating in the various like giveaways on the Reforged Discord server. Then we have 2 different forms of Xerneas. Let me see. Actually, let me look at Mewtwo. Yeah, so it's a giveaway texture. I think that's original. Yeah, so that must be the alternate Mewtwo. And these are the Xerneas ones. So you have Creator Neutral and Creator Active. Just changes its. I mean, the look of it is just completely different. It looks like it's got just a massive nose. Dragonite. I mean, this is just a fan favorite for everybody. It is a creator form, so it's got just the, but it does have like a really cool like hoodie shirt on, and it just, once again, the creators did a phenomenal job on these Pokemon. So let's move on to the Valencian forms. Now these are not quite as cool as the last, the strike forms or the alt forms. Essentially, you've got the Bellsprout evolution lineup, and all that's changed is that they got like a little bit of a tan. So if you change it to none, you can see it goes to like a very light yellow, and then it's like almost like an orange, like a light orange or like a orangish yellow. And that's the same with all 3 of these. The Butterfree, it's got like a different pattern on its wings. So let's go to none. You can see its plain wings, and then changing it to Valencia, it kind of gives it a tan and some extra like coloring. It's pretty obvious. Paris and Parasect turned reddish, so not much change there. New zombie form. So these 3 Pokemon are supposed to have new zombie forms, but they do not show up in creator form. So you have Snowy and Summer. And that's it. Like, there's no way to change it to zombie form as far as I can see. So even though it's in the changelog, I don't think it's actually implemented into the game yet. Next up is the miscellaneous form. So this is Snorlax once again. They added the snowy form, and you can see he's just pretty much all white. There is a light bluish tint to the skin on there. Arbok's got two different patterns on the hood of his like Cobra hood. So you can see it looks like eyes with like a smiling face. Looks pretty nice. And this one looks more like a ghost to me. Like, it kind of reminds me of like Gengar or Ghastly. So just a bunch of new Pokemon, new alt forms, which are all very, very cool. Alright, so moving on to the more like Gen 8 specific changes to the game. They've implemented a ton of new skills, new attacks, and like new abilities into the game from Gen 8. So I'm just going to go over these quick. There's not really much I can show you. And obviously I'm not going to go into detail with each of these because the video is going to be like 2 hours long. But I will make videos over the next few weeks to try to cover a bunch of this different information, especially ones that I think are pretty unique and useful for most people. So starting with the new abilities, you have Super Luck, Rattled, Intimidate, Infiltrator, you have Ball Fetch, Perish Body, Dragon's Maw, and Transistor. 8 new abilities for the Pokemon. Next up we have the new attacks. So we have a ton of new attacks. It's looking like 32 different new attacks. We have Pollen Puff, Purify, Core Enforcer, Misty Explosion, Tea-Time, Octolock, Mirror Move, which I thought Mirror Move was a skill already. Anyways, Darkest Lariat, Grassy Glide, Shell Slide Arm, which I'm sure is like the Slowbro move, Dual Wing Beat, Stalwart, Plasma Fists, Instruct Sparling Aria, Stopping Tantrum. I thought Plasma Fist was a move for a legendary. Well, anyways, Corrosive Gas, Burning Jealousy, Expanding Force, Rising Voltage, Scorching Sand, Skitter Smack, Terrain Pulse, Coaching, Triple Axle, Meteor Beam, Dragon Energy, Thunder Cage. Thunder Cage sounds amazing. Shell Trap, Lash Out, Spotlight, and Throat Chop. So there are quite a few moves here that just sound really incredible. Like Meteor Beam, Dragon Energy, Thunder Cage all sound excellent. I'm hoping they have really cool animations to go along with it. The same with like Plasma Fists. I thought that was that one like electric legendary or mythical Pokemon's like move, but maybe that just wasn't implemented. A few new items. We have Dynamax Candy. So along with this update, we can now officially Dynamax Pokemon in the game. I will make a video on that for sure, but it will not be a part of this video. We have Galarian TMs, so these TMs obviously go along with all the new skills that we had mentioned before. And then you have Galarica Twig and Galarica or Galarcia. Galarica or Galarica, I don't know how to say it. Cuff. A few decorations. So they say they've implemented relic decorations. I wasn't able to like put these things like on the ground or anything, but these are the only things that showed up as relics in the items. So if I type in relic, you get the relic badge, band, copper, crown, gold, silver, statue, and vase. Obviously I didn't put all these things up there. A badge, I mean, I have to imagine that comes from like a gym battle. I don't understand like what this stuff is. I don't know if it gets turned into something or if it is actually like a decoration you can put into your homes. They have also added like incense blocks, Galarica Cuff, wait, and a display. Galarica Cuff and display. Oh, Galarica Cuff display. Okay. So apparently you're supposed to be able to like put this into like a display case similar to what you have for fossils, which maybe it's really cool. I don't know what that stuff is though. I don't have all that information on Gen 8, so it's definitely going to be something I have to, I'm going to have to get in touch with the Nikupe. He is my Pokemon expert. Just a genius when it comes to Pokemon. He knows everything, every like minor detail he knows. But getting back into, or just to wrap up this video, I just want to say, guys, this update is massive. There is a ton of content. One thing I am surprised about, I made a video a couple months ago showing that the Eternatus, Zacian, and Zamazenta, like their wiki pages were updated for Reforged in the legendary like panel, or legendary wiki page, but they were not implemented. So that kind of surprises me. They're probably holding them off maybe until like a Thanksgiving update, or maybe even a Christmas update, just to make sure everybody's still like really excited for all the new updates that are coming. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what of these new Pokemon, which ones did you find the most impressive? I think these strike forms are gonna be like, if you're like on a public server and you can buy and sell stuff, I think getting these, you'll be able to sell these for like a lot of currency, whatever your currency is in the game. The creator forms, I don't think you'll be able to get like of the Mewtwo, unfortunately, and the Dragonite. Of course, those would be worth a ton. And then obviously we have all these new Pokemon, which are, I mean, it's always nice to get these new Pokemon. I think a big one, like the Farfetch'd lineup, and let's see, the Lanoon third evolution is going to be really sweet. And then these guys, Toxel and Toxtricity. I just think they're probably like the coolest and most like the ones that are going to be looked after for the most. Like a lot of the times, if you can look at a Pokemon and see that it looks really neat, really cool, people are going to want it whether it's good or not. Wheezing might be really desirable because it's more of like a meme, just because of the way it looks. And I could highly see like this Corsola and Cursula being pretty sought after as well. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos on all of the new updates and new content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It'll help me reach my 1,000 sub goal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.